Hi and welcome to Home Screens. This is our little podcast about our home screens and apps and setups. This week's guest is someone I've frequently seen sharing their setups on Mastodon. I read their blog, I enjoy their photography, and they're also someone that I've been looking forward to talking to. I'm always jealous of their aesthetic choices whenever I see their home screens and wallpapers. So welcome to the podcast, Gabz. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And looking at your home screens that you sent through, I can straight away see that it's going to be a follow-on from last time, like Matt, with no text underneath any of the icons. So, although yours are a lot simpler, though, so I think I may be able to guess some of them.
Well, I hope
so. Let's
so.
start then with this see how I get on with it. But straight away I really like the look of the setup. Again, aesthetic choices. I'm always kind of jealous of your setups, to be honest. Mine are always a bit messy, but so I guess let's start with what device are you using?
I'm using the iPhone 14 Pro, just a regular size
Okay,
Pro.
that's all good. Yeah, I'm on the regular Pro size as well. Pro Max is a little bit too big for me.
And to be honest, I cannot wait to switch to either the 15 or the 16 because this thing is heavy. Like extremely heavy. I could kill someone if I throw it at them.
Yeah, it's the stainless steel, isn't it, on the side and the sharp edges.
Oh yeah, you don't know how many times I have dropped it on my face by mistake, and it hurts.
Do you use a case on your phone?
I do not. That's what Apple
Okay.
Care Plus is for.
Well, I would definitely recommend going to you could probably get a good deal on a 15 Pro, and I use mine without a case, and the edges and the weight, it makes such a difference to using it. You may get, you'll get a good deal, hopefully, with the new one coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean with that. That they are. It's not so much the weight for me on those ones. It was the sharp edges on the stainless steel.
Mm-hmm.
I could just never get comfortable. It was always kind of dig into my hand.
Yep.
So straight away, I really like your wallpaper and your the way that it's, your home screen background is taken on that same color. I know we did mail each other, and you sent me the hex code for it, so I could copy it. So do you remember about the wallpaper? Where you got it from?
The home screen wallpaper is just a color gradient of the lock screen wallpaper, and the lock screen wallpaper I got it from Unsplash.
Unsplash. Okay. Yeah.
It seems simple
what
enough.
I'll do is yeah, no, it's great. I think I may be using it after this after this call. It's a really good photo. It works really well, and I like. Actually, one thing I guess to start on here, and it's something that is very different to my setup and some setups I've seen from others, is your home screen is your lock screen is very simple in terms of you don't have a lot of information there. You don't have any widgets, lock screen widgets.
No, I do not. I rarely ever use them.
Okay, so even things like calendar and weather.
No, I just glance at my watch for that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. So you use the Apple Watch. Okay. So this will be a little change to home screens, and this might be something that Gabz, you might have given me inspiration for going forward for people that do use Apple Watches, because yours is a really good example of why you might keep your phone lock screen a little bit simpler. I'm looking at your watch face now, and I can see obviously I did use the Ultra for a couple of weeks, and I really like this watch face. This was my favorite watch face as well. I like the digits on this one, really easy to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see you've obviously got the day on there, and I can see you've got the weather straight there. Although obviously your weather's in the wrong Celsius, Fahrenheit, and all that. I won't get into that.
Yes, please let's don't.
So that completely confuses me. Yeah.
That's probably a different podcast.
But I really like your watch face. Like I said, the Ultra. I really like the watch faces on the Ultra, and that's my favorite. So again, I can see why you don't have it on the lock screen now.
Yeah, because this one is simple. It just shows what I need, which is the time, the weather, and the date. And I probably have like another watch face that I would use when I'm doing workouts and stuff like that, where I have a timer and other apps to uh, keep track of how many reps I've done, that kind of stuff. But usually this is my daily driver. It's just that watch face.
Yeah, it looks great. Nice choice of colours as well with the kind of. It is orange, right?
It
Or
is
is it
the
red?
orange,
It looks
yeah.
orange to
I'm
me.
into orange lately. I don't know why, but it's a thing.
Orange is great. It's my favourite colour.
Oh, there you go.
I wish Apple would do a phone. Yeah, I wish Apple would do a phone in it, and I'd buy it straight away. So perfect. Yep, that makes sense. And now your home screen. Again, I like the aesthetic of it. What I can't get my head around, and I'll start with widgets again. With me, I have a calendar widget there at the top, but everyone's
Yeah,
circumstances are different, right? It depends how busy you are or whatever. But for me, I need that there just to remember
I
what I'm doing.
I used to use widgets before. Actually, we use the biggest widget size, like right on top, and then have like only two rows of icons. But then after with iOS 18 beta, I don't know, I can add more like the more simplistic one, no widgets. And at first, I only had like only 6 apps on the right side. And then the other day I was traveling, so I added 3 more for traveling alone. And then I kind of looked how it looked. So that's why now, of course, the travel ones have been replaced with stuff that I actually use.
Yeah,
And I like it. It's easy to reach everything and it's good,
yeah. I think
I think.
no, it is. I mean, one thing I've even adjusted my home screen a little bit already after seeing this a few days ago, and I've moved mine down to a corner like that again for reach to be able to reach them easily.
Hmm.
Which on these, I mean, even the Pro phones are too big for me because I love the Mini.
Yeah.
It's just my eyes don't like it anymore because I'm getting old. But
Yeah,
the
that's the same reason why I dropped the minis because it became a little harder to read things and even typing on it was kind of difficult.
yes, I'm exactly the same. I bought one at Christmas time as a second phone because I really keep missing it, and I couldn't type on it after a few days. I just kept making mistakes every time I typed on the keyboard, and I thought, right, okay, I just got to get used to
Yep.
these larger phones. So right, no text icon, no text underneath the icons. So, but I use a lot of these similar apps. I think I use a lot of these apps, so I'll be okay. The first, if we're going to go, top to bottom. So that first one I know is Arc browser, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
I've been using it for a couple weeks now, and I kind of like it. And my only thing is that for some reason, I every time I need to use it, I get lost. Like I'm so used to use Safari that my mind I think still looks for Safari and it has to click and switch. Like, oh no, it's not Safari anymore. We're using Arc.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I tried it, and I've still got it on my phone. I ran into difficulties just trying to get my head around how it worked. It seemed to be very. It kind of presents the information in a certain way. Of I don't know
Mm,
if it's AI driven or if it just seemed to summarize things rather than you just let me just go to websites and just browse. I don't know. Maybe I'm the same. Maybe I've just gotten so used to Safari that anything else is strange and weird. But that's fine. Strange and weird is fine. It's getting used to it. Maybe I need to try it
it's
again.
getting used to it. I actually have like a counter for how many days since I installed it, just to see how long to like break.
Okay.
So far, it's been 21 days.
Oh, okay. I'll start using it
So,
again. So I've
so we'll
got.
see.
Yeah, I'll give it another go. Your next app is a very opinionated one, and I know it from the icon is Hey, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Hey,
The inbox and all that.
which I just renewed.
Oh no. Um.
Yeah, yeah, it renewed yesterday, and I'm like, oh well. And I mean, I like it. It is fun to use. Like I feel like email is a chore that we don't most of us don't like to deal with, and for me, Hey makes it more manageable. Say what you will, but I like it. And yeah, seems like it's gonna go for another year.
Yeah, I think for me, I like the app and I like the concept, but I didn't like the company particularly. I think that's why I stopped using it. Just because of the guy that ran the company. Some things he was
Yeah,
saying around working from home and all these kind of things. I was just like,
yeah, this is one of those that I had to really, really, really try to kind of separate the art from the artist,
yeah, exactly.
kind of thing. So, I mean, there's two guys running it. At least one of them is decent enough. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
leaning towards that's my justification.
At some point, you do have to separate that an artist. That you can go back. Pretty much not any company, but a lot of companies that we use. If you go back far enough, you're going to find something that you don't agree with.
I mean, even Apple, I think most of us are not very happy about them. And we're still, I mean, I'm recording on a Mac and using an iPhone, an
Same.
Apple Watch, and
yeah, and
well,
I drive a Volkswagen, and the whole Dieselgate thing, was a problem a few years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, it's a good app. I do like it. I like you said, it's separating the art from the artist. I get that. Reader is your next app. The RSS, yeah.
Yeah, it is my RSS of choice. Yeah. I tried others, and for some reason I keep coming back to it. And I think it's because I like swiping left and being able to actually read from the website, because I kind of look people's website, so it makes it easier to do it.
Yeah, it loads the site, doesn't it? I remember now. What do you use as your sync service within? Do you use iCloud or do you pay for?
Oh, no, I use Fitbin, and
okay.
The main reason is because a lot of my reading actually happens on the browser, and their website is pretty clean and neat. Also, it makes it easier if I want to switch apps. I can use Unread or I can use NetNewsWire, and they're all connected to the same service, so it's super easy to switch.
That makes sense. Maybe I need to finally start paying for something like that, because I use iCloud Sync for NetNewsWire. What I found with Reader is the sync was very unreliable. It would quite often just fail and not bring me any. But maybe I just need to do like yourself and just do a third-party thing and just pull it into the apps.
God, I did try the iCloud Sync, and I also had issues with Reader in particular, but it seemed to work way better with NetNewsWire for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, thing is, when you get used to an RSS reader, it is very hard to go away from it. And I do prefer Reader to NetNewsWire in terms of the UI and the way it works, But I'll do that for next time. I think I'll have a little look into using something else to host the RSS, my feeds, so I can pull it into other apps and not think about it. So your next app is one that I absolutely love as well, Glass.
Yep.
I wish more people would use it.
Glass is I am a photography enthusiast. I'm not gonna even try to say that I'm a photographer, because I don't think I am. But I believe that I can take a good picture every once in a while, and Glass is a nice place to share them. And the other way I see it is like probably the cheapest photography website that I can have, because you have the web version of it, so you can always share that with people if they want to see your pictures, if they don't have the app. And it's great. I like it. It used to be a Patreon. I did my first year, and then when I renew to the regular tier, because
it's not cheap.
Getting expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap. All these little things add up over a month, don't they? All these different things that we all subscribe to. I'm the same. I pay for the subscription, the annual just standard subscription. I don't do the Patreon. I think you're a good photographer. I feel I do like your photos. The way you frame in pictures is really good.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. It's a great way of having like a little portfolio that you can send to anybody.
Yeah, before it used to be Instagram, but Instagram has become more about reels, and it's just about keeping in touch with family and friends that are not in other social media platforms.
Okay.
So I post on my Instagram, but it's very rare, and it's usually something that will probably not go in glass.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not an Instagram user anymore, but I do appreciate people use it for, like I said, for, like you said, for families and things. Halide is your next one, isn't it? I think.
Yep, I've been playing with it lately since they did the process
Oh
zero.
yeah, it's on my list to try. I've not tried it yet.
So so yeah, I'm trying it, and it's interesting because since the pictures are not processed like the Apple camera would, when it comes to the editing, usually I have this recipe that I will go
Okay.
for every picture. Now uh, that same recipe or I forget how you call them, um, filter, if you will, would not work on those pictures the same way. So it changes my editing process a little bit because of the processing. So it's interesting. It's almost as if I were taking the picture with my real, quote unquote, real camera.
So you'll post with your real camera and glass, won't you? I see a lot of them from. Is it a Fuji film you've got?
I have a
Oh,
Olympus
Olympus.
actually,
Okay.
OMD EM10 with a, I don't know why with the long name,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, a lot of my pictures are for with the Olympus, and but I will say like at least 25% of them are probably with the phone.
Okay. I'll. Yeah. I saw that on their blog, I think a few weeks ago, that they had the Process Zero stuff had come in, and it's on my list to try. So again, it's what I'll do is I'll probably copy some of these apps into my home screen on my first page, so I remember to use them. Because when you put them in the app library, they just disappear
Right.
and you forget they're on there.
Yeah, and the thing is, I still use the stock camera,
Yeah.
but I just use it from the lock screen. I just swipe left or right, no, left. Yeah, you swipe left, and it opens the
Yeah.
camera. But when I wanna like take the time to for a picture, then I use Halide or
Okay.
Halide, whatever you pronounce it.
And your next one is call sheet, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that is call sheet, and I it's on my main screen because I use it more than I thought I would. So instead of trying to remember the name of it and searching for it, I'll just have it there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I quite often I'll see you sharing thoughts on movies on my Mastodon. So yeah, I mean, I've got IMDb on my phone. I go into it very rarely because I'm a creature of habit. I'll just tend to watch the same stuff over and
Mm,
over. Um,
right.
it is useful though, that kind of stuff.
And then to me is yeah, and then also the thing is like every time I have this thing that every time we watch a TV show or my wife is watching a TV show that I just happen to sit with her and watch, I always recognize the actors.
Mm,
Like I know this person and I had to look it up, otherwise it's gonna bother me for the rest of the night.
right.
So this makes it a lot easier to just like search, find it, and then oh yeah, this person is this and so, and we've seen these movies, and then she rolls her eyes like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, I'm sorry, this is how I
Yeah.
am. Like I need facts.
No, I get you. Yeah, I do have where you go, oh, what have I seen them from, and you're like wrecking your brains. But for me, I think IMDb is enough for those times that it gets me. It's another again call
Mm.
sheet. It's another subscription that I need to. I'm reviewing all my subscriptions at the moment, so it's one that whilst the app is better than IMDb and you don't get any ads or anything and junk on it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that subscription is one that I don't even think about. I don't mind paying for it
yeah,
because I mean, literally, I use it almost every single day. And if I use an app almost every single day or every day, I think it's worth
yeah, I totally agree. Yeah,
the
yeah, I
subscription.
totally agree. Um, your next one, I know that's Discord. I can see that you're paying for, what do they call it? Is it Nitro or something? I always forget.
It's a Nitro, yeah. So yeah, I'm paying them for that icon alone and to be able to use their, I don't know how you call that, the cat spinning on a Roomba or something.
Oh, yeah, I think I know. Within the app, I think I know. To be honest, Discord for me is going in and
Right,
just replying to messages and things like that. I don't do a lot else with it.
I have a couple channels in there that I engage, like Hemispheric Views is one of them, of course, and then I have a couple of friends that used to have a gaming podcast.
Okay.
And then they retired the podcast, but the chat is still going for us to talk Star Wars or whatever, and video games, of course.
Yeah, video games is one of the main kind of, I would say main uses for Discord, but it's certainly something on my PlayStation, on the Xbox. I'm always seeing it say log into. But whenever I've played online, I tend to use the chat that's built into the PlayStation, rather than going through Discord. But I know you can do that stuff. Ivory is next. That's a nice icon. I don't remember that one.
That's the blue one. Yeah, no, that one. I don't know if it's in the current Apple Store version, but this is definitely from the beta.
Oh, okay.
That they added that icon.
Nice. Yeah. I like that one. Yeah, I mean, Ivory is for those that don't know. I'm sure everybody does that listens to this, but it's the only client really that I can use for Mastodon. I don't know if it's all that muscle memory of using, when I was on Twitter before I deleted my account for all those years, all that tweetbot muscle memory. I don't know, but it's such a good app.
Yep. Yeah, I tried others, and I mean, I love that there are options out there, and I love the other apps have more customization options, and that's great. But for some reason, like sometimes having too many options overwhelms me a little bit. So, and I feel like Ivory just out of the box is the way I like it.
Yeah.
So I stick with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you use, like you said, it's good that there are lots of other options. And I know that Mona, I think, is the other one a lot of people like. And even the standard Mastodon one that they've created themselves is actually quite good. That's how I interact with it on the Mac. I don't use the app. I don't use Ivory on the Mac. I just use the browser. I just use the Mastodon site.
Yeah, for when I'm on the computer, I use the browser because most of the time I'm on a Windows computer, so there's no Ivory there. So
yeah,
I just use the Mastodon site.
Yeah, same. That one, next one is Pocket Cast, isn't it?
Castro.
Oh, Castro. Ah, my God. They're not going to be happy. I got their. That's one of their rivals. For some reason, I'm just looking at my phone now because it kind of looks like the Pocket Cast one, but turned up a bit. It turned around.
Yeah, it's probably the color.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like but yeah, no, I see it. I see what you mean, but no, this one is Castro. I think Pocket Cast might have been my first third-party app for podcasts back in the day. And back in the day, I mean like probably 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. And then I remember I switched into Overcast when it first released and have been using Overcast ever since. Well, jumping back and forth between Overcast and Castro. And then kind of since the last Overcast update, I kind of moved to Castro full on, and I love it. I mean, it works the way my brain works, and no issues there. Yeah,
I think I'm trying to think if I used it. I know of the app. I probably tried it over the years at some point, but I went to, I've been using Overcast for a long time, and then with that latest change, all my downloads suddenly went really, really slow. Something to do with the sync issue, I think, and Marco's recently updated that and fixed the sync, and it has helped with the downloads. But I've gotten so used to the UI within Pocket Casts now that going back to Overcast, it just seems like I'm slowing myself down because and again, Castro I'm not so familiar with, but you get like it's almost like a tile view of all the artwork, in a grid. Whereas with Overcast, I'm scrolling down a list, to try and find the. So it's funny, isn't it? So if you find an app that works with your brain, then it's like Things for me. My task manager, it just works with the way that my brain works, so I just stick with it. But yeah, I'll try it.
And I don't use any of the and I don't use any of the smart speed or anything like that. The only thing I use is voice enhanced.
Oh, okay.
The volume enhancer, and that's it. And yeah, and yes, I had to say that Overcast probably has the best audio. But I don't know, Castro is good as well.
Yeah,
pretty good.
What works for you, isn't it? Going into your dock, then we've got Notion or no Obsidian, Notion.
Draft.
What was that? Sorry.
No, that one is Drafts.
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 Yeah. Some of these icons look so similar now between apps. So Drafts. So what does all your text start there? Does it? Everything.
And I have tried many times to remove it from the dock.
Yeah.
And use something else. And it's ever since I can't even remember which version. Was one of the first ones years ago. I put Drafts in the dock and it hasn't moved.
Okay.
Ever since. And then again, every time I tried, and believe me, I have tried, and I can't do it. It's so built into my brain now that it has to be there.
So, so I'm guessing if you're sending a message to somebody, you go through Messages, iMessage. You don't go into Drafts first and then go to iMessage.
Yes.
But if you've got like task lists or notes or things like that, they all go in Drafts.
I use it because I still use Micro.blog for some of my posts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I have an action in there and then it gets cross-posted everywhere else.
Okay.
So I do a lot of that, and a quick note, something quick that I need to get, it goes in there, or something that I copy from somewhere, I needed to put it somewhere, it goes there. Everything, even my blog post starts there, and then I copy into where they're supposed to go. But yeah, almost, I think 99% of my text starts there.
That's cool. No, I know a lot. People that use it absolutely love it, and I did use it for a little while because I like the idea of everything going in one place and then using that as a kind of a source of information to go other places. But I think I just got too hooked into using like Apple Notes and stuff, and I like using the apps that are not just text based that I can check pictures in and everything else. And you may be able to do that with Drafts, I'm not sure, but my impression was it's very just text based rather than having rich content in, like pictures and videos and stuff. But maybe I'll try it again.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a good, I like it because it's so clean. It's just like a clean canvas, and you just type things into it, and yeah, and that's it. And then you move whatever the text wherever it's supposed to go. My only problem is I am not very good at going back in and clean it up.
Okay.
So it becomes like a long-term storage for random stuff.
Yeah.
I try to at least once a year just go through it and delete things, but after deleting like 10, 15, 20 of them, it becomes like, I don't want to do this anymore. Just leave it there. Yeah. It's okay.
That's like
I don't see it.
That's like my Apple Notes is just a dumping ground. I'll go in and, there's all sorts of random text in there that I don't even know what they mean anymore.
Yeah.
This next icon to me looks like a hamster or something, but I have no idea what that is.
That one is just a website shortcut for, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. I think it's Pika.
Pika, okay.
But other side of my brain wants to say Pika because it sounds cool. It's my where I'm hosting my blog now.
Oh, okay.
So when you open that, it just takes you to the dashboard, and then I can
Pika.
Paste my text, or I can mess up with the theme or do any changes. Anything is done from there. Their text editor is super great, easy to use, and yeah, no, I love it.
I'm on my phone now. I can see why it's called Pika now, because that's an animal. I never realized that. That's not one that we get in Europe.
Pika. So
it's a small mountain dwelling mammal native to Asia and North America. Interesting.
And there you go.
So it's a little bit like micro.blog, I guess. It's kind of it's a blogging it's not like as big as WordPress. It's kind of like a blogging platform, smaller blog. I don't know. I'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
Looks interesting.
It's a blogging platform, and the best thing I can compare it to will be like bear.blog. Oh, wait, is it bear.blog or bear.dev? Like Bear blog. It's similar to that, and I like it because it's opinionated, but not limited.
Okay.
So you can still change things here and there. You can customize some things, but they only have like one theme specifically, and then you can change color. You can add CSS to it and make some changes, but it is very simple. It doesn't have a lot of options, and like I said before, too many options, too much liberty, if you will overwhelm me, and then I will spend more time tweaking things than posting.
Yeah, it looks good.
So,
I'm looking at it here. Yeah, I'll have a look at it. I find that I get really I go really deep down rabbit holes in something, and then so it might be dangerous me even looking at it, but because I've been so settled on WordPress for so long.
Yeah, if you have your happy place, just
stick.
Yeah, don't look elsewhere.
No, I won't. I'm not even going to look at it. Messages, obviously, I don't need to say too much about that one. And then Apple Music, which I think everybody I've talked to so far are all Apple Music people. I haven't come across anyone using Spotify yet.
Yeah, I don't think I ever used Spotify because I never liked at the time. I never liked the idea of streaming music. I was more like, oh, you need to own your stuff. And then Apple announced Apple Music way back when. I signed up for it, and that's all I use ever since. I have tried Spotify every once in a while. I just don't like the UI.
Same, yeah.
And I don't know. I don't like it the navigation of the app. I don't like it very much. Also, I feel like maybe it's just a me thing, but I feel like the sound quality from Apple Music is superior to Spotify.
Okay.
Maybe there's a setting in Spotify that I never found to make it better, but yeah, Apple Music is, and we have the family subscription. So my wife uses it, I use it, and I mean we have a HomePod in our house, so it makes sense to use Apple Music.
Yeah, we have a family subscription now. My daughter's old enough now where she's got her own phone and she uses it, so I'd probably be. It wouldn't be good if I cancelled it and moved us all over to Spotify. But I prefer Apple Music myself. Spotify is a little bit. Whenever I've used the Spotify app, they seem to want to throw you recommendations all the time. No matter what you're interested in, you'll get some really random. Like YouTube videos, the worst thumbnails on YouTube videos are like the shocked faces and that kind of stuff. I remember I was loading it, and every single time I kept getting this Minecraft podcast thrown at me with this guy doing that face, and that was enough for me just to cancel my subscription. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, no. The only reason I have ever considered Spotify is because there's some music from back home, especially like old stuff.
Yeah.
That they're not in Apple Music, but they are on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand why. That I don't even try, but I've been lucky enough that some of those albums you can purchase on MP3 versions of them on Amazon Music.
Right. Okay.
So I just buy them and then sync it in to my iTunes, and then I just have it on my phone via Apple Music. So
yeah, it's perfect
so far. And then and it's funny that I say that because then there was this album from this particular band from back home that album specifically is not on Spotify and it's not on Apple Music, but it is available for streaming on Amazon Music. You cannot buy it, but you can stream it on Amazon Music, and that's the strangest thing. So for a while, I'm like, okay, I'll pay the $6 for the membership or whatever it was. I listened to the album until I got sick of it and then canceled my subscription.
Can you not buy it? Can you buy it as like a CD, maybe? Can you do that? Can you buy it as like an old school?
The thing is, I probably have the CD somewhere.
Okay.
I just don't know where. And even if I find it, I don't have anywhere to play it.
Yeah, you'd have to buy Super Drive.
Because yeah, I mean, I could try I think my car still has a CD thing, radio, but I think my daughter might have put a dime, like a quarter or something in it, so I don't think it's gonna work.
Kids. I've been there with stuff at home. So yeah, you know, that's the total of your home screen. I mean, I like the simplicity of it. I like the aesthetic of it. I really like the wallpaper, and
yeah,
I'll be copying it, I would imagine, when I get that through. So yeah, I really appreciate coming on.
Oh no, thank you. I was excited to be here. So
yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I'm glad people are enjoying the podcast, and I appreciate you coming on. I know a lot of people like talking about apps and setups, so it's a little niche of the internet that all us little geeks, I guess, on Mastodon all seem to be into apps and stuff.
Yeah, there's this one little thing that every time I talk about it to my wife, she rolls her eyes like, "Oh my God, you're such a nerd." Sometimes I'm like, "But you don't get it."
Yeah, it's kind of
it's
a gift and a curse, I think, being into this sort of stuff. You can obsess over it.
Yeah,
That's a
and
problem.
I mean, I cannot wait to see. Cannot wait to see who you have in the future and see all the home screens and actually sometimes I get inspiration from them. Like sometimes I see a weird setup, which is probably that's how these ones started. Like I see something strange for someone, I'm like, I try to mimic it just to see why. Like, why does it have it like this? And then I end up liking it, and I'm like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, that's one of the great things about phones and iPads and everything else is we can, you can customize them how you want. Especially now with iOS 18, being able to move all our icons down like that. It only took 18 versions for us to be able to do that, but at least we've got it now. But no, again, really appreciate you coming on. Where's the best place for people to find you on the internet?
Well, I mean, the best place to go is to my blog, which is gabz.blog, and links to everything else should be in there.
Okay, cool. And I'll make sure I put that link as well in the description. I'm just gonna add it now because I've got the omg.lol. So you guys all using your LOLs, and I keep looking at them.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. I keep looking at them and I'm thinking, I'd like to have a go at doing that, and then it's just like, no, it's another thing for me to get distracted by.
Oh yeah, but just do it. It's fun.
Yeah, no, I will do. It's good to support small developers and creators as well. So it's probably good me to throw in some money their way anyway, and I'll play around with it. So yeah, thanks again for coming on. If you want to get hold of me, then you can go to my blog. It's ljpuk.net. And there's a contact form on there. You can grab me through there if you want to come on the podcast, or if you have anybody there that you'd like to recommend that I go to, because I'm going to run out of people eventually, or people won't reply to me. But again, I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. It means a lot, especially at the moment. I need some distractions at the moment, so it's all good. But thanks again, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.